Hi guys. Okay, so I'm here to do my my gosh, my March wrap up. So I read nine things, nine things in the month of March. I'm really excited because I am now I'm like on track to complete my goal for Goodreads. So that is good. I read a bunch of short things though, so I kind of tried to, make it up. Um, So the first thing that I am going to talk about are the two books that I did book talks for, so I could just mention them really fast. So the first one is The Antiquarian by Gustavo Faveron Patriao, and this is translated by Joseph Mulligan. This is a Peruvian author. This book was not very good. I wouldn't really recommend it. I did a book talk about it that I'll link below. Did I already say that? I don't even know anymore. The story is our narrator has a friend who's in a mental institution and who's been there for 3 years because he killed his lover, wife, girlfriend. I don't know what she's called technically. And so now he sends some kind of cryptic message to our narrator, and the narrator's kind of trying to find out what happened. But the writing is ridiculous and flamboyant, and there's just so many words, so many words. It's super extravagant, lots of words. I read some clips. I read some clips. I read some excerpts, some paragraph. I read a paragraph in the book talk, so I would definitely recommend watching it for that because it is hilarious. It is actually really, really funny. This author, I don't know if it's the author or the translator or what, but yeah, it was kind of a hot mess. And the next one that I did a book review for or a book talk for was Little Heroes by Raymond Johannes Wild, and was supposed to be the story of 6 boys from the barrio in the Dominican Republic. This was my Dominican read for the month, and yeah, super disappointing. Not at all what it advertised itself to be. It's more of a memoir by the author. I would really recommend watching that video. I'm actually really kind of not proud of it, but I feel like I talk about all the things that drive me crazy about this book. So, and it gets a little, I feel like it gets, yeah, if you're curious. It's total crap though. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I'm probably gonna lower it to 1 out of 5. I just feel kind of bad, but I don't know why. I do. And then the next 2 books I'm going to talk about, I actually want to do book talks for, and I haven't done book talks for, and that's The Enchanted by Renee Denfeld. This was kind of super hyped, I feel like, last year. And so I wasn't going to do a book talk, but I want to talk about it because it has to do with the criminal justice system, and I'm very, very interested in that, but you probably already know what it's about. It was good. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It didn't quite live up to, I need to stop reading super hyped books because that is lowering my enjoyment because my expectations are too high for them. So yeah, it was definitely good. And then the next one that I want to do a book talk for is From the Belly of My Beauty by Esther Boleyn. This is a poetry collection, and I mostly just want to do a book talk because I want to read one of the poems that I found really rough, basically. The author is a Native woman. She's 100% Navajo, but she was raised in LA. So it's the story of, well, it's not the story. She does do a little, at the end there's an essay about her life, basically. And I just think it's such an important voice to read and listen to, and it's very beautiful. She's a very, very good writer, so I would super, super recommend this. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I mostly just didn't give it a 5 because I'm not really a big fan of poetry, but I thought it was absolutely gorgeous, and I would recommend it. And then I read 2 graphic novels. I read Lumberjanes Volume 1 and Amulet Volume 1. I gave this one 2 and this one 3. This is super, super cutesy and adorable and friendship, yay, and not super my scene. And this one was a little bit darker. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. It's still, young, but it was definitely darker and more enjoyable. So I'm going to continue with both of them because this ends in a cliffhanger and I want to know what happens in both. And I also read All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This is super hyped also. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars though. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It's a dual narrative perspective. There's a girl who's in France and a boy who's in Germany during World War II, and I just spat, excuse me, and it's over a 10-year period, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it's just so, so, so fascinating how we basically like let this crap happen, because it's like I feel like they have a really, really good metaphor for it in the book, probably, but it's kind of like if you put a frog in boiling water, it's going to jump right out. But if you put a frog in cold water and then like slowly turn the heat up on it, then it's going to die. And I just think that's like such a good metaphor for this whole thing, because like everything happened so slowly that no one really knew what was happening. I mean, people knew it was happening, but they kind of like didn't think it was going to get worse, and it definitely did. So I would super, super recommend this. I think it's a beautiful historical fiction. I loved it. And then I read 2 books for March Mystery Madness this month. Well, I feel like The Antiquarian was also kind of a mystery. And actually, so is Lumberjanes. I feel like most of these have like mystery type elements to it. But like the first like mystery that I read was Dorothy L. Sayers' Strong Poison. This is a Lord Peter Wimsey novel. We start off with Harriet Vane, who's been accused of murdering her husband or a lover or whatever via poison. And Lord Peter Wimsey is convinced that she didn't do it, so he like uses his resources to try to find out who did it and why they did it and how they did it and get evidence and stuff. And it's a lot of fun. He's definitely much more likable than Poirot, but I don't know. I definitely prefer Agatha Christie mysteries to this, just because you kind of like already know who did it, like maybe a third of the way through the book. And in the Agatha Christie's, there's always like that tension building, like you don't know who it is, and then I feel like, yeah, so that's why I prefer them. But the detective is much more enjoyable. And Elmore Leonard's Get Shorty was the last book that I finished this month, I think. And this is the story of a Miami Shylock who works for the mob doing collections for people who aren't repaying their loans. And he basically ends up in Hollywood on a quest to find this guy that owes money to Ray Bones, who's like his boss, or not really boss, but like the guy that he does the stuff for, or like one of the people that he does the stuff for. I don't really know how Shylocks work. It's definitely a lot of fun. I feel like the cover of this book gives you like a really good feel of the atmosphere. Like I think that perfectly describes the atmosphere of the book while you're reading it. It felt to me like a 70s mobby, like Hollywood type book. But at one point he references Three Men and a Baby, and that movie was made in 1987. I don't know if maybe it's a remake though. Maybe that's why, because he references that movie, but it feels like it takes place in the 70s. So I'm confused now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe Three Men and a Baby was a remake of a different movie. But I also am confused because he refers to a black man as colored in this book. So I do want to give that little heads up if you have problems with that. It definitely took me out of the story. Anytime something like that happens, I don't know. Like I feel like it's really important to read books about race, and like that's really important. But when the book doesn't really have anything to do with race and there just happens to be a black man and you call him colored, like I don't know what the point of that is. Like it's not like really saying anything. Like you're not, it's not making a statement or doing anything. It's just like you're calling him colored for some reason, and it's uncomfortable to me. So it kind of reminds me when I was reading that Kurt Vonnegut book, I forget, Breakfast of Champions. Like he refers to each person by their race, and I just like I need to reread that one because maybe I missed something. But it just like took me out of the story. Thankfully it only happens like 3, maybe 4 times. So that's good that it doesn't happen too frequently, but it's just annoying when it happens. He's just like, he's a black man. Like, you don't call him colored. It's that's not right. So anyways, sorry, tangent. But yeah, I gave this 3 out of 5 stars also. So those are all the books that I read. And then I did want to talk about my goals and such. So I did read my BookTube recommends and my Dominican book this month. I'm still behind a Dominican book because I didn't read one last month. I want to talk about the 52 books around the year in 52 books. And so Little Heroes was actually for that as well. It was number 6, which is the highest rated on your TBR because it was rated 5. But I found out afterwards that it's actually the author's, under his pen name, gave this a 5 stars and it was the only rating. So super annoyed about that. And Strong Poison was on that as well. It was number 16, a book from the top 100 mystery novels. And then I also did number 26, which is a book everyone is talking about, and I picked All Light We Cannot See. It was talked about a lot. I feel like now maybe not as much, but I'm still counting it. And then the last one that I did was a book with a beautiful title, in my opinion, and for that I picked From the Belly of My Beauty, because I think that is a beautiful title. And I did try to start and finish The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie yesterday, but instead I binge watched the whole 6th season of Archer because it just got released on Netflix. And this is really short, so maybe I'll just power through this today because I was supposed to have finished 5 books for that challenge and I only finished 4. Yes, so that is that. I also wanted to talk about really, really fast. I'm totally almost done. My other reading type goals. So my goal is to be less than 50% US and British authors. And last month I was at 67%. This month I'm at 62%. So I'm making some progress and changing it kind of. Not as good as I want it to be, obviously. And my average page count per book has decreased. So it was 287 last month and it was 262. Well, it's total. So it's not just for the month, but so now where I'm at is it's 262, so it's definitely less than the 300, which is my goal, but I am caught up with my Goodreads goal, so now I can focus hopefully on chunkier books a little bit and bump that up. And yeah, so that's all I can think of goal wise. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let me know if you're posting a wrap up, especially if I don't comment, because then maybe I don't know that you have a channel, so let me know if you have a channel and then I'll watch it. Or I'll try to. There's a lot of videos out there, y'all. Anyways, have a great day.